which takes into account the social
state of this nation, South Africa. But you also then start speaking security within the United Nations.
So when he gets out of the car, we can just get nice and close there so we can get a shot.
To come from. I mean, if you have to look at, I can think about various events in South Africa that have been massive, such as the 2010 World Cup.
I'm okay, but my legacy, the man. I think his speech.
Hey, Morning group. Aye, jump. Quick, march.
Usually you would have, various civil society groupings that would be invited to come and join in the festivities here during the State of the Nation address. They have significantly cut down on the people that they invited this year. Right, and as we see there, the President making his way up to the National Assembly chamber, and what will happen there is, of course, we will see in a short while the 21-gun salute, and that will coincide, of course, with also the start of the national anthem. But we'll tell you more about it as the President and Speaker make their way to the front of the chamber.
أنا هوري كهم كان كيك
Speaker of the National Assembly, Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, President of the Republic of South Africa,
Nana, yami ndandlamuka hilaha ku nga heriki ku la u ringana na ndlopfu halala president halala halala president halala ha tinyungubyisa hi vunene byakwe hi ku hluvulela swihuku hi ba mandla hi vuyelela hi ri ha ku losa halala president halala.
There will now be a moment for silent prayer or meditation. Thank you. Please be seated. Honorable members, the President has called for this joint sitting.
On a point of order, Speaker.
Honorable Malema, what is your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, we have a murderer in the house. We have a man who's got blood of innocent people in this house, which is supposed to represent the wills of our people. And therefore, it is incorrect for you to have extended an invitation to de Klerk, because de Klerk is a murderer. De Klerk has got blood on his hands. The people of Buipatung are turning in their graves. And de Klerk said that apartheid was not crime against humanity. It's an unrepentant apologist of apartheid who is not willing to accept that apartheid was crime against humanity. And therefore, it is an insult to those who died and tortured in Flag Plus under the instructions of de Klerk, to have de Klerk sitting in a democratic parliament. And I therefore suggest, Honorable Speaker, that we please request de Klerk to leave this house because it doesn't belong to this house.
Honorable Malem, have you finished?
So my submission, Speaker, is that please, for us to have peaceful proceedings, we should ask the commander of Flag Plus, the apartheid apologist, a man with blood on his hands, to leave this parliament because it does not belong here. That's my submission, Speaker.
Thank you, sir. Order, members. Honorable Malema, I wish to rule on the submission you have made. This sitting has been called for one item and one item only, to give the President the space to address the nation. It is convention that all the presidents, the former presidents who are still alive, are invited to this sitting. The former president, de Klerk, has been invited because of that. I therefore cannot sustain the submission you have made, and therefore rule it out of order.
Honorable Speaker,
Honorable,
the meeting is called for a special purpose.
Honorable Floyd Shibambo, I have not recognized you.
Will you please recognize me?
What are you standing on?
On a point of order, 14F.
What is your point of order?
The point of order is that the rules of the joint sitting apply even when there's a state of nation address. That is number one. You can't recognize de Klerk as a president of what? Who voted for him? Are you saying this parliament, a democratic elected parliament, must recognize a white-only president who was elected by a criminal system of apartheid?
Honorable
must acknowledge him
Shibambo.
as such.
Honorable Shibambo.
It cannot be correct.
Honorable Shibambo, yes, you are right. The joint rules apply to this sitting. Order. 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 You are right. The rules apply. And the rules apply, and those rules have never been questioned. History of this country is there for everybody. We recognized that there was an apartheid system. We also recognized that was a system that brought us all into this house. And therefore, that submission, that point of order is not sustained.
Speaker. Speaker.
What are you standing on?
On a point of order.
What is your point of order?
Just accept that you as the presiding officers, you made a mistake by inviting de Klerk. So de Klerk must go. Like you've been making mistakes.
Please take your seat. We have not made any.
Can you ask that
Please take your seat, honorable member. We have not made any mistake. Take your seat.
Honorable Speaker, you are talking about history. What I'm telling you is not history.
Honorable Malema, I did not recognize you. Please take your seat.
The clerk had interview last week.
Honorable Malema, I did not recognize you. Please take your seat.
On a point of order, Speaker.
What is your point of order?
Speaker, you just said yourself that it was apartheid. Who presided over apartheid? De Klerk. And just last week, he said apartheid was not crime against humanity. So we were humans enough to be killed by apartheid system, and the person who presided over that system must come and be seated here
Honorable
with us
Mente.
after killing our forefathers,
Honorable Mente.
after killing our brothers and masters
Honorable
and sisters.
Mente, please take your seat.
No.
You are taking your seat.
On a point of order, Speaker.
Honorable members, are we going to go on and on and on the matter of the presence of former President de Klerk?
Speaker.
May I then tell this House,
Speaker,
that the presence of former President de Klerk in this House is proper because we have done it in terms of the rules. We have always been open about the former presidents and former leaders of this House, and therefore, delaying the business of this House tonight on the matter of former President de Klerk is not going to help us. So may I suggest that I will not take any further points of orders on this matter.
Speaker.
Honorable Ndlosi, if you address me on a different point, not on the matter of former President de
I'm
Klerk.
afraid, Speaker, you have a constitutional obligation to respect the rules. You do not make them as you go. There is no such a rule that you are anticipating what I'm going to stand on and rule on it in anticipation. That's number one. You are a commander of Mkhonto Wesizwe. You ANC members sitting here, you taught us, you said we must reconcile with these people because they accept the mistakes that they have made. That is history. That's okay. We're not talking about history. We're talking about last week. De Klerk takes platform in front of the whole world and says apartheid was not a crime against humanity. You must be ashamed you are sitting here clapping hands as ANC people. You must be ashamed.
Honorable
no one is
Ndlosi,
even raising
us. Yeah.
Speaker, no one is even raising a substantial argument in relation to what we are raising. You are busy clapping hands.
Honorable Ndlosi.
De Klerk is an apartheid apologist, not in 1990,
Honorable Ndlosi.
1994.
My ruling stands.
Yesterday.
Take your seat. I am very, very clear and simple. If you are standing up on any point, it is not on the point of the honorable, the former president of this country. I am not going to go on and on the matter of former President de Klerk.
Speaker, I'm willing to accept that the ANC is defending de Klerk in this House. And South Africans should see the ANC for what it is. It defended de Klerk. They are clapping hands for de Klerk in defense of a murderer. De Klerk remains a murderer.
Honorable Malema,
Speaker.
take your seat.
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, please do not stand before you are recognized. Honorable Mulder, you are recognized.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, We are not going to have a debate on the past tonight. But.
Order. Order. Order.
Honourable Speaker.
Order. Honorable members of the EFF, you will respect anybody who's on the floor of this House.
Honourable Speaker, I know
you will respect any speaker who is on the floor of this House, because when you stood, people allowed you to say your piece. Honorable Mulder, please continue.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Honourable Speaker, we should just be technically and legally and constitutionally correct and should deal with the real facts. What the honourable members of the EFF don't know, it seems, is that in 1994 there was an election where all South Africans participated, South Africans, and in that election, Mr. de Klerk was elected one of the deputy presidents of South Africa. And he served.
You are protect Honourable Mulder.
He served as a member of parliament after 1994 as a deputy president of South Africa. So the president that you have set is the correct one, and I suggest that we proceed with the business of the House.
The Honourable Buthelezi.
Honourable Speaker, Honourable Chairperson of the National House of Provinces, Your Excellency, our President, Honourable members, I was wondering, Honourable Speaker, whether we can have our say, and the only way in which we can have our say is to put the matter to the vote, so that all of us can have a say on the matter. Then we can all have a say on the matter, because we all want to have a say on the matter.
Speaker, I want to second the motion that we vote on de Klerk. Let's vote and see who's going to vote for de Klerk to sit in this House. Today, we'll know who was a spy. The spies are going to be exposed.
Order.
Let's vote.
Honourable members, I have not yet responded to Honourable Buthelezi. Order. Order. Honourable members. Order. Honourable members, I had made a ruling on the matter. I made a ruling on the matter. I said that any hand that comes up is not going to be speaking again on Honourable de Klerk. So I do not know what we will be voting about. I made a ruling on this matter.
Honourable Speaker, I'm standing in terms of joint rules of both the National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces. There's a new proposal on the floor that says, let us vote on whether de Klerk and Medra must be here or not. So we're seconding that motion. No one has opposed it. And motions can be raised in a joint sitting. So let us vote on whether de Klerk stays here or not. It's as simple as that.
Thank you. Can I take you back to the rules, the joint rules? Rule 13.2 says, no vote or decision may be taken by or in a joint sitting. I made a ruling on that matter. That matter is closed.
Honourable Speaker. Speaker.
Honourable Mazon.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker of the National Council of Provinces. I would like to rise on point 14S of the joint rules. In terms of our constitutional right, everyone in this House has the right to hear the President deliver the State of the Nation. And as such, I would like the Democratic Alliance's constitutional right to be upheld, and we would like to proceed with the matter of hearing the State of the Nation address from the President.
Honourable members, I agree with the Honourable Member. There is one item on the agenda. It is that the President addresses the House and the nation. Can we proceed with the business of this House? The Honorable, do you still want, you are fine. Can we proceed with the business of this House? Thank you very much. Honorable members, we have been called into this joint sitting of the National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces in terms of Section 84(2)(d) of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, read with Joint Rule 7(1)(a) in order to let the President deliver his State of the Nation address to Parliament. I shall now call upon the President to address the joint sitting.
Speaker of the National Assembly, Ms. Thandi Modise, Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces.
On a point of order, Speaker. On a point of order, Speaker.
What's the point of order?
Can the President please sit down? I'm following the rules,
What's
Speaker.
the point of order?
Can we follow the rules?
What's the point of order?
Can we follow the rules? According to Rule 14C, read alongside 14S. If you read them now, you will realize that President must sit down before I raise the point of order. Please sit down, President. We're going to help you run this parliament. Sit down, President. Follow the rules. We're going to help you. You want to follow the rules and sit down.
Can you find out what is the point of order?
Well, the point of order, Speaker, is that we cannot sit here in this parliament with millions of South Africans watching us when they know that they are in darkness because of one man who has made sure that our state-owned entities are in a state of collapse. Today, ESCOM cannot keep light in our houses.
Point of order.
Today, we cannot fly to Durban because there is a minister who is making sure that SAA is dysfunctional.
Point of order.
Today, we sit here with a minister that is working for white monopoly capital, making sure that the state-owned entities go to his friends.
Point of order.
We call for an adjournment.
Point of order.
That the President must go outside and make sure that he makes an announcement to the nation.
Honourable member, can you please sit down?
Pravin Gordhan is no longer a minister of this country. We cannot sit with him. We won't sit with Pravin Gordhan, not here. Pravin Gordhan must go. Pravin Gordhan must go, please.
That's not the point of order. We'll move
Point
on.
of order.
We'll move on.
Point of order.
Mazwani?
Thank you very much, Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces and Speaker. I rise in terms of 14N, in terms of time exceeded in the House, and I submit that the previous member exceeded his time for a point of order. I also rise in terms of 14N. I have a constitutional right, as does every member of the Democratic Alliance, to sit in this House and hear the SONA address of the President of the Republic, and I would hereby request that me and my party are allowed to hear the President deliver his SONA address.
Honourable members, can I plead with all of you? Can I make a plea and ask all of you to cooperate and proceed with business of the day? I will therefore, without any waste of time, request the President to proceed.
Point of order, Madam Speaker. I'm rising on a point of order.
What's your point of order, Mengwenye?
Madam Speaker, the Speaker, Deputy Speaker here, we have read the rules and we're waiting for him to rule. He cannot go on when we have asked him to rule on Rule 14C and 14S. Let him rule so that we know that he has allowed Pravin Gordhan, who has caused the economy of this country to plunge into darkness, to be in this house with us. The minister is trying to take away the economy of the people of South Africa and make them poorer, and he and his cronies are continuing to get richer and richer. He must go out of this government.
Honorable Ngwenya, can I address you? Honorable members, a point of order is only allowed if it calls to the attention to a transgression which all of you have not proven, of a joint rule or an accepted parliamentary practice or privilege. The transgression, if there is one committed tonight here, is the one which the Honorable Mazoni is referring to. Interfering with the rights and the privilege of all the other members of this House and South Africa to get on with the business of today. I plead that we allow the business of the day to continue.
With the greatest respect, Madam Speaker, the Constitution is also on our side. Because we're members sworn to the Constitution, we also have a right to partake in these proceedings. I just want to really bring to your attention.
Can I respond to you on that point of the
I will be done in a moment, Speaker. I'll be done. We can't gather like things are normal here when things are abnormal. Pravin Gordhan, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, misled you. He misled you together with another man, and you fire the other man and not fire Pravin Gordhan.
Take your seat.
Please fire Pravin Gordhan now so that we go.
Take your seat. No, honorable members. You address us on the point of the Constitution. The Constitution gives this House, gives every member of this House the right to listen, to debate, to put questions. You want to raise the issue of a minister during the State of the Nation address. This is not the platform. You want to raise a question to the president. The president will give both houses the dates for you to address that question, not a joint sitting. This House does not, Honorable
Speaker.
Honorable member, take your seat. I have not finished my ruling. Take your seat.
Please recognize me.
Please take your seat. The joint sitting is not the platform to address how the president appoints or dismisses members of cabinet, because you do not have the powers to do so. You have the right to ask questions during question times and at any other time. The National Council of Provinces has the right to do the same in the other house. So can we please proceed with the business of the day? No, honorable members, I do not think we want to take any other further point of order, because you really are eating into the time of us to continue with the business of today.
Speaker.
If you address me, you're addressing me on a different point of order, not this one.
I rise on a point of order. You say there is no transgression committed here. Yes, sits a man who has misled the president and the entire nation. And if
honorable member, take your seat.
If the president cannot reign over him.
Honorable member, take your seat. That's not a point of order. That matter we have dealt with. We have directed you how you will deal with that point of order, unless you were not listening to us when we were speaking to you.
Speaker, you said you're going to recognize me.
Point of order.
Speaker, you promised to recognize me.
Point of order.
And I respected you and I sat down.
Honorable Sope, I had actually not, but I will give you the floor now.
Thank you. Speaker, we are proposing that please adjourn the House in order for the president to fire Pravin. You will have a peaceful sauna. Please adjourn the House in order for President Ramaphosa to fire Jamanda.
Please take your seat. Please take your seat. Honorable members,
point of order.
don't do this.
Honorable Speaker.
What's your point of order?
No, it's not a point of order, Honorable Speaker. I just want to address you for a minute. Honorable Speaker.
Order.
Is the mic on?
Proceed.
Honorable Speaker. Oh. Honorable Speaker, we have the rules of the House.
Order, members.
We have the rules of the House.
Honorable member, this is not a perfect wedding. On what rule are you rising? On what rule?
Honorable Josie, take your seat. Honorable members of the EFF, honorable member, take your seat.
Honorable
Please
Speaker.
proceed.
Honorable Speaker, we have rules of the House here. We are not at Juju Valley or Megete Lodge.
On a point of order, Speaker.
Speaker, look.
So, Speaker, on a point of order.
Honorable Speaker, we have been abused for too long now.
Please take.
We cannot be abused like the manner in which Mantra is being abused at home by Honorable Manema. This is totally out of order, Honorable Speaker. Let us apply the House of the Rules. EFF, if they want to engage you, let's go outside and engage outside. Leave this elderly people. Let's go and engage outside.
Let's go, Baba. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Order.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's
Honorable
go.
members. Honorable members, take your seats. Honorable members, take your seats. No. Honorable members, take your seats. Honorable members, take your seats. You all have a minute to take your seat or march out. Take your seats. You are on the floor, sir.
Honorable Speaker, I'm rising on 3 points of orders.
You will give us a point of order, sir, not 3 points.
All right, the point of order. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm rising on point of order 4.3. Since the beginning of this sitting, the members of this House have been referred with first names, which is not in order. I think that one must be slipped from the party. Number 2, Chair, the issue of the point of order. When a presiding officer has made a ruling, that ruling is final. If any member has got an issue around that, they know the process which they must follow in order to challenge the ruling of the presiding officer. It cannot be done in this House. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker.
Proceed, sir.
Honorable Speaker, I do respect the rules of this House very much, and that is why I kept on lifting my hand to be recognized, but it seems I had to stand. Honorable Speaker, you asked what is the transgression. The transgression is that the honorable member of the EFF, who started with this point of order, said that we will not sit in this House, and there are millions who will not want to listen to what the President says. That royal we must not be used here. The we is them and the members of his party. It doesn't include us. So, Honorable Speaker, you should rule that we continue with the sitting of this House, and those who do not want to be here should leave the House. Thank you.
Point of order.
Speaker.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Order, members, order. No. Honorable members.
Did you recognize me, Madam
Honorable, Honorable Godrich, please take your seat.
Okay.
Honorable Speaker, there are millions of people in South Africa and millions more internationally that want to hear what the President has to say.
Where are you? We can't see you.
Now, Honorable Speaker, Minister Godhan
where are you? We
is a
can't
member
see you.
of this House and has the right to remain in this House. I call on you, Honorable Speaker, to exercise your right.
Up. Don't speak sitting.
To protect
stand
the
up.
dignity
Stand up, Chief.
and decorum of this House and do what is correct, Honorable Speaker.
That order is sustained.
Point of
Honorable
order.
Deputy Chief Whip of the Majority Party.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think this night we have all the arms of states in one room, which is this chamber. I really feel embarrassed to call myself as a member of parliament if we behave the way we are behaving. Therefore, the proposal that we want to make, Honorable Speaker, is that those who are not willing to listen to the State of the Nation address, they should not trample on our rights and the rights of the citizens of this country who want to listen to what the President wants to say to them. Honorable Speaker, please protect the rights of all of us.
Honorable members, I'm not taking any more points of orders. Honorable members,
Speaker.
I am not taking any point of orders.
Speaker.
Honorable Shibambo, take your seat.
I want to call order.
Honorable Shibambo, take your seat. Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members, you clearly do not have any interest in the business of this House today. You are delaying us. You are refusing us to start with the business of the day. Honorable members, there is an input on the floor. Any member who feels they do not want to participate in the proceedings of this joint sitting today, you are free to walk out and allow us and the rest of this country to enjoy the State of the Nation. Yes. If you choose to sit and do not leave, you will sit and allow us to continue with the decorum of this House so that we can get on with the business of the day. Any other member who will stand up in this House and disrupt, please leave in peace. Any member, you are disrupting. No. Honorable Shibambo, what do you understand to be a disruption?
A disruption is when you do not use the rules to make interruptions. An interruption is allowed in terms of the rules that are contained in this book, which guides all of us here now. There are two issues which you cannot overlook, Speaker. One, you have got a semi-literate person who can think and says here, who must go and fight outside.
No, I'm not entertaining that.
That is one.
No.
And number two, if we cannot find each other here in terms of this, which I propose because we did not have a chief whips forum yesterday, the whips must go outside to come with a solution.
Honorable,
so that we can guide this
can
House
I address
as whips
you?
on what must happen. So that is a concrete proposal so that we come to guide this House as whips of what should happen. That is the concrete proposal.
Honorable Shibambo, I will let you know. I will let you know, Honorable Shibambo, that the two of us presiding here are responsible for the running of this joint sitting. We can confer, but I can tell you that we do not think it is necessary for us to disrupt further the business of this sitting. You sit and you let us proceed with the business of today. No, Honorable Malemba, we have had enough.
No, on a point of order. You keep on saying members of parliament are disrupting parliament. When we stand up and speak through you, you cannot call that a disruption. You cannot call our inputs here a disruption. We've got a right to be here. We've got a right to speak here. And that's what we are getting paid for. And we can't, when we execute our responsibility, say, no, we don't have time. We've got all the time. We are getting paid to be here. We've got all the time. The chief whip has made a progressive proposal that let's adjourn for 5 minutes.
We're not adjourning.
So that the chief whips can talk outside, since there was no chief whip forum.
Honorable Malema, please take your seat.
Because this input we're going to make it yesterday in the chief whips forum. There was no chief whips forum. And
Honorable Malema, take your seat.
Forum, there's nothing we can do.
Honorable Malema, take your seat. Honorable members, what you are doing is a disruption. What you classify, no, order. What you do right now, when you disrespect what we say from the chair. When you think that you have unlimited freedom of speech to take away the rights of other members, that constitutes a disruption of the business of today. And therefore, we cannot allow this to go any further. No, we're not taking any further points of orders. We are not. We are not taking any points of orders. We are not taking any points of
Speaker.
Please take your seat.
No, but you must guide us through the rules.
Please take your seat. Please take your seat.
Guide us through the rules. Which rules are you quoting?
I am saying please take your seat.
But guide us through the rules. You are not your king.
If you do not wish to take your seat, sir, please leave this house. Honorable Mkalipi, I am not taking any further points of orders. You are simply retarding the progress of this house tonight. Honorable Godfrey, I'm not taking your point of order.
Madam Speaker,
you
I've been so
simply
well
retarding
behaved with you
our progress. Take your seat.
We started because I recognize you so well.
If you do not wish to take your
I'm
seat,
going to take my seat.
I am going to ask that you be held out of this house.
Please, just before that,
no,
don't be like Mama
take your seat. No, take your seat. No, honorable members, you cannot come here and take away the rights of the rest of this house.
This one has taken the rights of our people to have lights and to fly to Durban.
I will not have
this one.
I will not have dialogue with you. Take your seat.
This one.
Take your seat.
But Madam Speaker,
take your seat.
There is a transgression.
Take your seat. No, honorable members, I'm not taking any further points of orders. Allow us to proceed with this house.
Madam Speaker,
business.
What about the rights of the members of this house? Do they not have a right to raise points of orders and to speak freely in this
Honorable
house?
Speaker.
What about the rights of the people of South Africa who are now sitting in darkness?
You are actually infringing on the rights of other members of this house as you do this.
What about the rights of the people who cannot travel to Durban?
Honorable member, take your seat. Take your seat.
What about those people?
Honorable member, take your seat. You are infringing on the rights of all the other members of this house. Your rights do not supersede the rights of all the other members of all these parties.
Speaker,
you are not recognized. Please take your seat.
Honorable Speaker, my hand has been up for a very long time and you are refusing to recognize me.
If you are coming back on the other points of orders that have been raised in this house,
it's a new one, Speaker.
No.
It's a new one, Speaker.
The new one that is going to...
That will guide the House, Speaker. Speaker, the Chief Whip of the EFF made a proposal that the Chief Whips must go out. No, we are members of this house, and you can howl as much as you want because you want to protect Bravin, and you are protecting yourself.
Honorable member, can I address you? I don't think you heard me.
No.
When that proposal was made, I said, we are not suspending this house for the Chief Whips to go. We are not.
Speaker,
honorable members, we do not have a crisis. You have a crisis.
On which
you are causing this
Speaker,
house not to proceed.
Speaker.
Please take your seats. Please take your seat. Honorable Ntlangwini.
Honorable Speaker, you have recognized me. I'm Honorable Tlangwini. Honorable Speaker, you have recognized me. I'm Honorable Tlangwini.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the Chief Whip. Yes, Speaker. Yes, Speaker.
I said proceed.
The Honorable Chief Whip of the EFF have made a concrete proposal. We have a crisis, Speaker.
And I have responded to the proposal of the Chief Whip.
Go and discuss this matter further.
No.
We want to know on which rule have you ruled that the Chief Whips can't go outside to go and address the matter of the
Thank you. Honorable Ntlangwini, take your seat. Honorable Deputy Speaker.
With the greatest of apology to both of you, Madam Speaker and Chairperson, I think Rule 14G explicitly says that if the presiding officer is of the opinion that member is deliberately contravening a provision of these rules, or that a member is in contempt of or is disregarding the authority of the chair, or that member's conduct is grossly disorderly, he or she may order the member to withdraw immediately from the chamber and the remainder of the ruling. Can I make the second point? Madam Speaker, Chairperson, the presiding officer, after having called attention to conduct of a member who persists in irrelevance and repetition of arguments, may direct the member to discontinue his or her speech. I want to maintain, Madam Speaker, that this is grossly disorderly and repetitively raising arguments that we should request the members to stop, or you make the ruling, Madam Speaker.
Speaker, it doesn't say members, it says member. You ought to be, they have to be a specific person. There is no generalization here.
Honorable members, please sit down. We will now proceed and have the President addressing the House. Honorable President.
Speaker of the National Assembly.
Mamtand, you did not rule. We were threatened over there that we must go out. They want to beat us. You did not rule them out. We can't be members of the House and then the members of the ANC come to threaten other members of the House. As if Tina were here on some favor. We are also elected. You did not reprimand them.
Honorable members, order. Honorable members, I'm sure South Africa is not very proud of us this night.
There is no electricity. They are in the dark.
I'm sure none of you are proud of what you are doing today. So can we agree that we are going to allow this House to proceed with its business, and that any spurious point of order will see a member walking out of that door? Can we agree on that? Can we agree that we will not have any spurious point of order? We are proceeding with the business of this House.
Speaker, I'm sure, Madam Speaker, with the greatest respect, you'll agree. It is not spurious.
Can you please sit down?
Speaker, it's not spurious.
Take your seat.
It's not spurious.
No.
They threatened us
Take
of
your seat,
violence.
Honorable
You owe us protection. It's not spurious.
Take your seat.
That
Honorable members, no member has any right to threaten any member. Neither does any member.
Can you please sit down?
Neither does any member have the right to take away and to disadvantage any other member in any other fashion. So, you are not angels because you infringe on the right of all the other members in this House to proceed. And that is why I'm saying I'm not taking any point of order, except yours, Honorable Pando. What is your point of order?
Speaker, I think you have ruled correctly, Speaker, because there is indeed spurious use of the rules and very serious infringement of the rules. And I think, Speaker, you should act as you have indicated. Should there be any further interruption, members must be asked to leave the House. Thank you.
Honorable Mkalipi, I'm not taking any further points of order. The only point of order I will take is when you continue to interrupt the business of today.
Speaker.
Honorable Malema, do you intend to stop us from proceeding with the business of the day?
Not at all.
So why are you up?
No. Violence was threatened. It was brought to your
I have
attention.
just called this whole house to order.
Not the whole house. It was
I
by
did.
a specific individual. By the rules of this house, you ought to call the individual concerned and ask that person to withdraw. So
Honorable
that we can
Malema?
have peace in this house. Because we shouldn't threaten violence. No one has got
Honorable
monopoly
Malema.
of violence.
Honorable Malema, take your seat. Honorable members, I did not see the member who threatened. I heard. No.
Our perfect wedding.
Don't behave.
Our
like
perfect
that.
wedding.
No. I heard a member saying any members should go out. I did not see. I'm not calling any member by name. I have made a ruling.
Just
in this
ask
house
him if
that
he
no
did
member-
actually threaten
Honorable
us.
Gadi, take your seat or leave this house.
Honorable Speaker, we can help you with the
member, take
person.
your seat or please.
We can
Kwenda.
help you to show you who
No,
threatened
I
violence.
don't want your help. You take your seat now or leave in peace.
No, I'm saying because you say you
take
didn't.
your seat now or leave.
I'm helping.
You take this seat, Honorable Mukwena, or leave. Honorable Mkalipi, if you stand, you are prepared to walk out. Yes. Yes. If you stand and continue with your spurious points of orders and eat away the time for this country to get the state of the nation, please walk out, or we shall assist you. You are volunteering to go the first? Honorable President, please proceed.
Madam Speaker, with all due respect, Prince Buthelezi has had his hand up, respecting this house, and people are he's had his hand up. But you've got people jumping like popcorn and being recognized.
Honorable Buthelezi. Honorable Buthelezi.
Honorable Speaker, I think I have a right to ask a question to you as the presiding officer. I would like to know, our judiciary is here. Unfortunately, we can't consult them. Purely on common sense, is it right that a minority can impose their will on the majority? Quite clearly, we didn't shout at you when you're speaking.
You are protected, Honorable Buthelezi.
Quite on sheer common sense. The people that have raised the matter and delayed us are a minority. The majority of us want to listen to the president. And I've been lifting my hand and people just jump up and speak. But because I respect you and I will not break the rules and do what as they do, you don't give me a chance just to say a simple thing. I want enlightenment for you as the presiding officer. Is it right that the minority should impose their will on the majority of us?
Thank you, sir. Honorable Buthelezi, members of the House have the right to freedom of speech, but that freedom is not unlimited. It is subject to the rules of the House. It is subject to the provisions of the powers and privileges. So no member can impose their will on the rest of the members.
Oh, Speaker.
I did not recognize you. Please take your seat. No, take your seat.
Unrecognize, please.
Take your seat. Honorable members, I'm not going to recognize any hand. And any hand that...
Sorry, Speaker.
I will not recognize any hand. I will not recognize that hand.
Speaker. Speaker,
no
Speaker,
members, no.
Speaker, siyafuna ukumamela upresident ngokuzithoba okukhulu kodwa angeke sikwazi ukumamela upresident usabeke utatu Jamnandas apha asingeke sikwazi isizwe sonke sase South Africa siyakhala siyalila ngenxa yakhe asingeke siyafuna ukumamela siyafuna.
Honorable Sonti. Honorable Sonti, please leave the House. Please leave the House. Because you are deliberately making sure that this house does not conclude its business.
No, Speaker.
No.
You are not applying the rules.
No.
We should never.
No,
at
Honorable
any
Malema,
point-
you will not this night abuse the
No,
rules.
I'm calling you to order, Speaker.
No. You will not abuse the rights of the majority of the members of this house.
Call her to order. That's the first step you do.
I did call all of you to order.
You didn't. You called her name. You called her name once. You called her name once. Call her
Honorable
by the name.
Malema, take your seat.
Call her by the name.
Honorable Malema, I called her by name. Honorable Malema, take your seat.
Tell her to sit down first, Speaker. You can't start by saying you must go out.
Honorable Malema, take
It's
your seat.
against the rules.
Honorable Malema, take your seat. No, honorable members, you are not going to hold us to ransom.
Can I get clarity, Speaker, so that they
Take your seat.
Are you suspending the rules tonight?
Take your seat.
Are you suspending the rules tonight?
Honorable member, take your seat.
Which rule are you using which says you can no longer recognize hands? Which rule? Point us to the rule. It doesn't matter how much irritating are we in this house, but you ought to point the rule and say, according to this rule, I will no longer recognize hands. There is no such a rule, and we are not going to be treated as a group here.
Irritated. You are right. It does not matter how much the two of us are irritated. That still does not give a minority or an individual member of this house more rights than the other members.
Point of order. Point of order.
Members, you are not going to continue to do this.
Point of order.
A minority is judged by a vote. So let's vote
Honorable
so that we are
Mukwena,
sure that it's
please
a minority.
take your seat.
Point of order. Point of order. Madam Speaker.
Honorable Mazoni.
Speaker, I rise on point 14F of the joint rules as well as 14K. 14F deals with the irrelevance and repetition. We have now heard the same point of order called over 4 times. Chair, we've also been dealing with these points of order that have been repeated for exactly 50 minutes. In terms of 14K, it describes exactly what grave disorder is, and given the fact that the party calling points of order and disrupting the House at present made it very clear that they had every intention of disrupting the proceedings for tonight, 14K comes into play because it now refers to grave disorder in the House. Chair, I would ask you to once again protect the rights of the majority of the members in this House and let us have our constitutional right to hear the SONA addressed by the President.
On a point of order. Yes. On a point of order, Chairperson of the NCOP.
Honorable members.
Just on a point of order.
Honorable members.
I'm rising in terms of.
Please sit down. Please sit down. Please sit down.
But want to call that
because I've not recognized you.
order.
Please sit down. Sit down.
And please recognize me after that, please.
Sit down, yeah. Sit down. Thank you very much. Honorable members, it is very clear that continuously taking point of orders is not getting this House anywhere. Clearly, the freedom of speech of members is being abused. And we would really like to make a plea one more time that we should allow the President to proceed with his State of the Nation address. Honorable President, please proceed.
On the Chairperson of the NCOP, on a point of order.
I've not recognized you.
There's no rule yet.
Honorable
that says
member.
the party.
Honorable member.
Treated as members one by one here.
Honorable member, I've not recognized you, so please sit down. Please proceed, Honorable President.
Speaker.
I have already
Speaker,
said.
Can you please recognize us? I want us to work according to rules here. We are in Parliament.
Honorable Malema.
An activist parliament.
Honorable Malema, we've not been recognized. Please sit down.
Can you recognize me?
Please sit down. Please sit.
Recognition.
Please sit. Honorable President.
Praambi.
No, Ampi, you are making a mistake. You are making a mistake. Recognize me. I want to speak according to the rules. Honorable Speaker, that you ought to say to us, according to which rule are you no longer going to take hands on point of order? Number one. Number two, there is no one who's going to be treated as a party here. There's no party here. They are members of parliament who shall be recognized as individual members of parliament. So there's no party. So please, and there is no majority and there's no minority.
Honorable
And if
Malema.
you are going to go with that narrative of minority, minority will know us.
Honorable
in
Malema.
this
Slender,
country.
can you please sit down? Slender.
Please sit down. Honorable President, we now proceeding, honorable members, with the State of the Nation address.
Speaker of the National Assembly, Ms. Thandi Modise, the Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, Mr. Amos Masondo,
Honorable members, we are going to suspend the proceedings of this House. The bells will be rung for you to reconvene. This House is suspended.